The trial against Bill Gates and Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla is underway in the Netherlands. But just days into preliminary hearings, the case has already been thrown into total chaos, and globalist fascism is on full display. Arno van Kessel, one of the two prosecutors, was arrested after submitting key documents tied to the prosecution of Gates and Bourla. He was blindfolded, taken by military police, and is now being held in a maximum security facility, without charges and without access to his legal team or family. Sources inside the court say this wasn't just state overreach. It was an operation coordinated through the World Economic Forum in Davos, with direct influence from Gates, one of the defendants in the trial. And according to insiders, Van Kessel isn't just being detained without charges, he's the first non-compliant citizen undergoing a covert psychological program the elite have been developing for years, known in intelligence circles as re-education. Before we dive in, a quick word about our partner VP.net, the next generation of private browsing. VP.net is the only VPN designed with true zero-logging architecture. That means, unlike other VPNs, it literally can't track you. So even if governments or bad actors come knocking, there's nothing to hand over. It's that simple. Your data stays yours, period. Just days before the landmark preliminary hearing at the Leeuwarden District Court on July the 9th, Dutch lawyer Arno van Kessel was blindfolded and taken away by a squad of militarised police after submitting crucial documents related to the case. He's now being held in the Netherlands' high-security prison, isolated from his family, and will remain there for at least 3 months. His official charge? Still unknown. Many suspect the state is scrambling to fabricate a crime. With Van Kessel silenced, the weight of the prosecution now falls on Peter Stassen alone. But if the arrest was meant to intimidate him, it failed spectacularly. With nothing left to lose, Stassen rose in court and named the crimes for what they are: biowarfare, genocide, mass murder, deceit and assault.
Mr. Stassen, a lawyer, lost his colleague, the main driver of this court case, Arno van Kessel, because he was arrested on the 11th of June. He is taken into a highly secured prison in the south of Holland so that his family can't visit him. I understand there's been no contact yet.
Jim Ferguson, a friend of the People's Voice, joined Dutch alternative media outside the courtroom to report on the trial. Inside, according to observers, the prosecution's case against Bill Gates and Albert Bourla was described as a bullseye. But as expected, the defence, made up of 8 of Europe's most expensive lawyers, came out swinging. They've been accused of playing fast and loose with the truth, and are now aggressively working to block key witnesses against Gates and Bourla from taking the stand.
We're here. We're here in front of the courthouse in Leeuwarden, and we're here with Jim Ferguson. Welcome, Jim.
It's an absolute honour to be here standing with the Dutch people on this, what is a historic court case that's unfolding. Absolutely pleasure to be here.
It is an absolute historic court case, and it's a pity you don't speak Dutch because it was a bullseye, all the gloves off kind of court case. Meike, what is your impression of the hearing today?
Well, everything was said, and it was said quite loudly. So we're here for the truth, and there are 3 people who make the request to hear witnesses. But there were
2 victims of the jabs.
Yes. Yeah, 3 victims of the jabs that make a separate court case, separate from the earlier one, which is already taking place. And they request to hear several witnesses, such as Catherine Olsen-Fitz, Sashalati Pova, and others.
And Mike Yeadon, because the discussion was a lot about Mike Yeadon.
Mike Yeadon, yeah. And, well, it's interesting because the defendant is also Bourla, who is the former employer of Mike Yeadon. So it was quite interesting to see that the lawyers of the defendants, they were taking it quite seriously. It was taking a lot of time. They said it was inappropriate to hear the witnesses because we could already read everything in the online media and so on. But I think that Mr. Stassen, the lawyer, made a very good point, acting on behalf of the victims, that it was necessary to give testimony before the court because it's the highest instance in the Netherlands and it's independent.
Yeah, and then the discussion was a lot about what we already have so many experts, and why don't you take their word for it? But then Mr. Stassen said, well, this is the choice of the victims. This is their case. Yeah. This is the victims, the experts they want to hear. I thought that was a very good point.
The elite are doing everything they can to block insiders from testifying, and it's not hard to see why. They're terrified of what will happen if these witnesses are allowed to present their full case in open court. Remember, Latipova is a former Big Pharma executive. Yaden was a high-level scientist at Pfizer and worked under Albert Bourla himself. These aren't fringe voices. These are insiders with first-hand knowledge of how the system was weaponized. They have the documents, they have the timelines. And in a fair trial, they've got everything needed to put Bourla and possibly Gates exactly where they belong.
There is a real hardcore of evidence coming out here. And I think what we are definitely doing is winning the information war. And it's thanks to the viewers, it's thanks to the people who tune in and listen in. This is so important. It's an international precedent that's been setting here. And I said in several posts that this could set a new precedent for another Nuremberg II trial.
All we need is momentum. We need something to get people to finally throw off all their how do you call it, their blinkers. Yeah.
People in prison. We need people to go to prison. We need justice for the victims of these heinous crimes. And the charges of genocide, the charges of biological weapons that are being used, these are very serious charges. If the judge in this case puts them on trial, I'm telling you, the international media will blow up. And we might see another Nuremberg trial take place. And if civilian courts can't do it, military tribunals can.
Military tribunals, a new Nuremberg. It's no longer a question of if, but when. Because the people have had enough of the globalist lies, cover-ups and dirty tricks. Why was the lead prosecutor arrested? What was in the files he submitted? And what is the global elite doing to him right now behind closed doors? We've got the details right after this important word from our sponsor. The global elite are raking in crypto billions, rigging markets to keep regular Americans like you broke. It's a deliberate wall. And as viewers of this channel already know, the globalists want you enslaved, not free. Block Trust IRA is smashing that with their Animus AI trading platform, which has been designed to outsmart the hedge fund managers so that everyday Americans have a chance at real financial independence. This is the #1 crypto platform, crowned by Bitcoin magazine from over 1,500 rivals. Thousands of ordinary Americans like you are already raking in 250% returns, backed by $200 million in military-grade security. The globalists absolutely hate this platform. It has created 80,000 new millionaires already. Block Trust IRA's mission aligns with ours. Financial freedom is the key to fighting back against the shadowy elite. So please visit tpvcrypto.com, links below, to find out more. For a limited time, they're offering my viewers up to $2,500 in bonus crypto when you open an account. Visit tpvcrypto.com and join the revolution today. The globalist elite have been quietly developing psychological control systems for decades. Brainwashing technology designed not for war, but for compliance. In recent years, they've stopped hiding it. They now openly speak of targeting so-called non-compliant citizens. And now, they're making their move. Take a look at this deeply disturbing cartoon the WF produced for their stakeholders to explain exactly how they'll use AI to control, coerce, manipulate, and ultimately enslave the human race. And as you're watching this, remember that as WF presenter Nita Farahani is so excited to proclaim, they already have this technology.
First off, a video. It's going to make you see the future and understand a wonderful future where we can use brainwaves to fight crime, be more productive, and find love. Let's roll.
You're in the zone. Even you can't believe how productive you've been. Your memo is finished, your inbox is under control, and you're feeling sharper than you have in a decade. Sensing your joy, your playlist shifts to your favorite song, sending chills up your spine as the music begins to play. You glance at the program running in the background on your computer screen and notice a now familiar sight that appears whenever you're overloaded with pleasure. Your theta brainwave activity decreasing in the temporal regions of your brain. You mentally move the cursor to the left and scroll through your brain data over the past few hours. You can see your stress levels rising as the deadline to finish your memo approached, causing a peak in your beta brainwave activity right before an alert popped up, telling you to take a brain break. But what's that unusual change in your brain activity when you're asleep? It started earlier in the month. You send a text message to your doctor with a mental swipe of your cursor. Could you take a quick look at my brain data? Anything to worry about? Your mind starts to wander to the new colleague on your team, whom you know you shouldn't be daydreaming about, given the policy against intra-office romance. But you can't help fantasizing just a little. But then you start to worry that your boss will notice your amorous feelings when she checks your brain activity and shift your attention back to the present. You breathe a sigh of relief when the email she sends you later that day congratulates you on your brain metrics from the past quarter, which have earned you another performance bonus. You head home jamming to the music, with your work-issued brain-sensing earbuds still in. When you arrive at work the next day, a somber cloud has fallen over the office. Along with emails, text messages, and GPS location data, the government has subpoenaed employees' brainwave data from the past year. They have compelling evidence that one of your coworkers has committed massive wire fraud. Now, they're looking for his co-conspirators. You discover they are looking for synchronized brain activity between your coworker and the people he has been working with. While you know you're innocent of any crime, you've been secretly working with him on a new startup venture. Shaking, you remove your earbuds.